Hello, America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of 90 Day Before the 90 Days season. I don't know, episode. I don't know. Not really in a good mood. I'm not. I'm not in a good mood at all, and not the normal, not good mood that I come in. Just struggling with some stuff right now. Let's get this over with because I don't want to wait too long. Okay, so we see Avery. She's leaving in 2 days. She goes to hang out with her friends. And her friends think it's weird that she didn't tell anyone and she just announced that she got married. When they ask her, is she nervous? She says she's a little bit nervous. And when they ask, what if he acts differently in person? Would you postpone the marriage? She does not give a solid answer. Um, Her friend says that Avery was always reckless, but and always did like crazy things, but this is the craziest thing that she's ever done. Um, he was his name Muhammad, I think. He has never kissed a woman. He's never been in a romantical relationship with a woman. I know romantical is not a word. She has her friend says that she's wild, so it'll be interesting to see that dynamic between them. But she hasn't done anything since she's became Muslim, Avery says, and she wants to put that stuff behind her. He sometimes gets mad at her for not being a virgin, and she wishes that she had saved herself for marriage. Um, he also wants her to be more conservative and cover up more. And she says that she's trying to be that perfect Muslim girl and wife. And but she is dressing more considerable, more modest than she did before. So, it's just take it or leave it. One thing, when she went into the bathroom and wet her face, she wet her face right here, and I guess she used like some jeans to wipe off her face, but she still had on makeup and everything, so that was kind of weird. Um, Her mother calls her out because her mother wants her to wear her dress, her old wedding dress, and she wants it to be a tradition starting with her. Her mother doesn't understand why she can't wear it because it's not conservative enough. And her mother is like, well, last year you were just wearing belly shirts. And she says, even though Muhammad may want you to dress a certain way, I may have a difficult time accepting him talking to you like that. And Avery is like, well, just let him have his opinion because he deserves to have an opinion, whatever. So they are leaving today. Well, she's leaving today. Her brother doesn't think she knows what she's doing at all. Her mother is preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. Her mother says that the best case scenario is that he is everything that he says that he is, and that if he's not, then her daughter will come back to the United States and pick up the pieces of her life. Her grandmother started crying, and she hopes that it works out for her. She says that she's always tried to stay positive because she wants it to work so badly, and if it doesn't work, then she would have proved to everyone that this was a waste of time. So they get to the airport, they're going, they're checking in. Avery apparently has misplaced her phone. They call the grandmother back to see if the phone is in the car. The phone is not in the car. Avery is like, well, I'm not gonna miss my flight over no phone, so I'm just about to go. Her mother is like, Avery says it's not important to have a phone. Her mother is like, it's literally super important to have a phone, and I'm not getting on the flight unless you have a phone. Avery says that if her mother tries to sabotage her or tries to stop her from getting on this plane, she will never forgive her. I'm pretty sure the phone is probably like in her purse. I'm confused. If the phone was at home when she called it, wouldn't somebody answer it? I don't know. I don't really care. Okay. So we see Caesar. Caesar is calling, what's her name? Maria. Maria, he says that he did some research online about the situation between Russia and Ukraine, and he found out that it was safe for her to fly. He says, "So will you book your ticket?" She's like, I don't know. We'll see. He's like, "Look, I just want you to book your damn ticket, okay?" She says, "Okay." He says, "I need you to promise." She says, "I promise." One thing that you wouldn't have to worry about her booking her ticket is if you would have taken the money and if you would have booked her ticket yourself without sending $2,000 over someplace. And I don't, but whatever. He's After she says that she's gonna book her ticket, he is very relieved. He can relax his mind, and seeing her face to face is all that he's been waiting on. So him and his friend go to a jewelry store. Um, I know that these conversations that they have are for TV drama, but his friend is like, "Well, what if she, talking to other men? What if she got other men?" And it's like, "Well, have y'all never had these discussions before?" Because it's just like, his friend is like, "What happens when she finds out you're not a millionaire?" And Caesar says that he hopes that Maria will stay regardless, and his friend don't want him to be out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. So they go to the jewelry store. He's on a $200 budget for a ring. He ends up getting a ring. His friend is talking in front of the sales associate like, "Oh, do y'all have a return policy? What if she got other men buying her stuff? Blah blah blah." And even the store associate, after he bought the ring, was talking about, "I think we gonna see him back in here, and that man gonna need a refund or something." And you just look like Boo Boo the Fool already. Like, it's too late. It's too late. It's already something that you look like. So you might as well just put on a red wig and a clown nose. I really, really don't give a fuck. Angela, if y'all, I'm not telling you anything about Angela. If you know who Angela is, then you know who Angela is, okay? Angela and Michael. If you didn't watch, I'm not in the I'm not in the mood to be an explaining type person. So if you didn't watch, I need you to watch. You can watch one of my reviews, you can watch somebody bigger reviews, you can watch the actual show. I don't care. I'm not telling you anything about Michael and Angela. Basically, after the tell all, when he called her an elder because she is an elder, and she got mad, they made up again, and she did the K1 visa process. So she waiting on the K1 visa so he can come over here, but the visa is taking too long, so she's gonna go back to Nigeria for one last time. But this one last time is to see if they are really meant to be, and if love is really something that's in their cards. So you already filed the K1 visa. I really don't feel like now you should be looking at is if love is in your hands or not. But whatever. I really don't care. They still have a problem with the IG. He got ladies on IG. Her one daughter, Scotty. I feel like her daughter's name is Scotty Dean, but I know that that's not it. The daughter that we saw last season, she, I think, is in jail for statutory rape, allegedly. I can't remember exactly what she's in jail for, so I'm going to say allegedly. But I feel like she was having relations with a 17-year-old, and she went to jail. Anyway, they've only spent 2 weeks in total. in person together. We see her go look at a venue saying that she wants an American African themed wedding. Like, what country in Africa? Are we going to go with Nigeria, or are we just going to go with some other country? Anyway, that man, his name was Doug. He took her around, and it was a beautiful, like, thing. But it was called Cotton Farms, and I really kind of didn't like that. But she's like, I can't give you a specific date. So he's like, well, that's gonna cost extra because we need, time. She also was like, how much did she say she was trying to spend? I can't remember how much she said she was trying to spend, but she wanted it fireworks and all of this. And he's like, well, you looking at about $40,000. Plus, if you want us to help you decorate, 6 to 8 thousand more dollars. And she's like, that's too much. That's too much. Her friend is like, don't you feel like that's too much? Where you gonna get the money from? She's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm, putting it all on the line, and I don't even know if Michael is still on Instagram. Doug, the man of the land, says she trying to have champagne and caviar on a malt liquor budget. And I have never seen any of the employees that one of the people go to, read someone so badly. But it's true. She talking about she want all of this, but you can barely pull together this trip to Nigeria. Like, why? Anyway, she goes to talk to her other daughter, the daughter that I guess she wasn't as close with, and she wants to ask her daughter to tote the egg, or she'll tote the egg. She needs her daughter's egg so her and Michael can have a child. And I'm getting confused because I guess Angela don't have no eggs. I mean, she 53. I know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess, but like, that wouldn't even be your child. That'd be your literal grandchild that you raising as your child. And why would you want to be 60, 53 raising a child? By the time your child turns 20, you'll be 73. But her daughter said, look, how am I supposed to sit up here and tote an egg, or even think about, I'm not giving you an egg, but even thinking about, carrying your baby for you, being a surrogate, when you don't even trust that man, and he be on social media and he got pictures of fat backs, and you need to be worried about the state of your relationship before you worried about a baby. That's it. I don't really have nothing else to say about one thing I do want to say is this was really, really boring. Maybe because I watched it a little bit late, and yeah, but things were very, very boring. This was a boring episode. 2 hours is too long. It's just so long. It's so long. And it's so uninteresting, where it's like 2 hours is literally 2 hours. Like, you can feel when it's 2 hours. And this episode was 2 freaking hours. It's disgusting. Anyway, we see Rebecca. She goes to a lingerie place, and she tells the store associate all her business about meeting some man across the internet and going over to meet him. She talking about how she's nervous about how her pictures look different from how she looks in person. And they showed a picture of her with the blonde hair, and she looks completely different. She looks literally 20 years younger. And at this point, it's like, you are doing too much. Her daughter is with her. Her daughter doesn't trust him and wishes that her mother has some discernment. Um, Her daughter asks, are they going to have sex the first day that she goes over? And she says yes, but she still remembers what Ziad's father said about, them not sleeping in the same bed and in the same hotel room. But she just doesn't want his father to find out because she wants to have the sex. Okay. So she put on some lingerie. It looks okay. I mean, her hair was still in that same style that it's been in. But I'm really confused because she said she's she doesn't want him to look at her and not see the pictures. But when he looks at you, he's not going to see the pictures because you aren't the pictures. Those pictures are extremely, extremely photoshopped. You look smooth. Your face looks like you. No, no, no. She gets sad while she in the lingerie shop, and she starts crying, talking about how she doesn't want him to treat her like her ex treated her, and she doesn't want to make the same mistake twice. And if he hurts her, then she will not be able to love again. So we see her. She's going to the airport. Her son and her daughter-in-law are taking her. She calls Ziad and Ziad doesn't answer the phone. She then texts him and he doesn't answer the phone. They get to the airport. She says her goodbyes to her family. He still doesn't answer the phone. And I'm so warped in my view of 90 Day before the 90 days. I'm like, these people ain't really hugging, like they family gonna be gone for forever. But then I have to remember that this is not before the 90 days. And she got the money to bring over 16 or 17 different men. Um, she gets into the airport. He still hasn't called, still hasn't texted. Gets off the flight, still hasn't called, still hasn't texted. Then we get to see 24 hours earlier. We get to see Ziad. He looks creepy to me. He lives with his family. He has a close relationship with his parents. He goes to the hookah bar. Where does he work? Don't seem like he got a job. Or maybe he was off that day. He doesn't care about what his father thinks, although he's going to act like he cares about what his father thinks. But they're going to share one hotel room. Um, Rebecca got off the plane. She had on her leather jacket and her pants. He, after I can't find him. Immediately he's there. It's just fucking bullshit. How many times are you gonna pull this? Maybe he didn't show up to the maybe he didn't show up to the airport. Like, how many times are you gonna pull this? You pulled it you pulled it on before the 90 days with Jenny. I mean, the other way with Jenny. You trying to pull it with her. It just don't, like, come on. We know that these people are showing up. Anyway, he has a shirt of her face on there. Her Photoshop face. But I think the weirdest thing is that they're both wearing leather jackets. I think they match their outfits. And they both wearing their jean pants. And they both got booties. When I tell you Ziad turned around and he had as much booty as she did, and I lost my mind. I just lost it. I really lost it. Anyway, he said, I don't have a car. I came in taxi. So do you want to rent a car? And she said, oh, yeah, baby, that's no problem. But he told her beforehand that she didn't have to worry about anything. Why did she rent a car? You obviously have this woman in your city. You couldn't rent a car? Or do you not have the resources, the money to rent the car? That's the end of their story. Two more. We see Timothy. Timothy is going to his going away party that Veronica threw. Veronica is dressed. I don't know why she dressed like that, but his friend is asking him, "Why are you really going over there?" He says, "I just want to know if this is real or not." They ask him what's her name? Jennifer does, the girl in Brazil, in Colombia, and he's like, she's a model, and they're like, oh, I thought you were gonna say she's a surgeon, ha ha, and they're all laughing, and he's very uncomfortable because this is a lady that he loves, or at least he thinks he loves. And it was very confusing to me because it was all adults there, and the only child was Veronica's child. And it's like, yeah, it's her house and everything, but like she can't go up in her room, or she got to be there for the whole party. It's just weird to me. So Veronica and Timothy take pictures. It, I don't think she was on his lap, but it looks like she was close to him. And he's like, okay, well, I need to send pictures. And she's like, why don't you send one of those pictures? And he's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And she's like, yeah, I mean, you can't hide our relationship. You can't hide what we are. What are y'all? What are y'all? Anyway, he sends the picture. Jennifer is obviously not happy because why would she be happy? That's some low down dirty stuff. He is over trying to text Jennifer to see if everything is okay. Veronica comes over. She's like, is everything okay? And she's just doing too much. She's like, well, I know how important this is for you, so I want to give you something. She gives him the ring that he proposed to her with and says, here. Timothy says, I guess I don't know if it would be a good idea proposing with the same ring that I proposed to another woman, but she gave it to me as a sweet gesture. She didn't give it to you as a sweet gesture. She gave it to you so if you do propose to that woman, if that woman do come over here, then she can always look at her finger and be like, I had it first. Because clearly that's the type of person she is. And then they hugged and she said, I love you. And he said, thank you, baby. Anyway, next scene, Timothy is getting driven to the airport, obviously, by Veronica. Um, he says she wants to know if someone is going to watch Jennifer's kids so they can have a long time. He says, I rented a 2 bedroom apartment so we can spend time as a family. That makes Veronica very angry because she's like, you already have a family, it's me and Chloe. And he's like, I know that, but I can have a bigger family. And I'm just really confused because he owes you absolutely nothing. And I really think that it's the scam of the year, the scam of the decade, that she was able to have this man who is in a okay financial spot raise her children or her child and probably give her money too. I was on Reddit and they said that it looked like Veronica was trying to kiss him when they went to the airport, but I didn't really see it, and I really can't fast forward and look through it again. So I guess I'll just never know. But I wouldn't put it past after you sat up here and called her baby. It just, y'all, this season is a little bit boring. And not boring in the way of when I was watching Happily Ever After, and I'm like, I know these people already. I know everything that happened is fucking predictable, but this is just boring. This is boring, and it's 2 hours long, but it's boring. Anyway, last but not least and last, we see Darcy. Darcy goes out with her friend and her twin, and talks about Jesse some more and how much her current relationship means and how she wants to get engaged, and her friend is like, girl, you don't need to be engaged, you just need to live life. Now, that sounds like great advice, right? It sounds like a friend who cares about her. Well, you'd be wrong. Her friend doesn't give three fucks about her. Her friend tells her that she doesn't think that she needs to marry a man, and it's unrealistic to have those expectations. But Darcy is in love, and when Stacy tries to say something, she gets annoyed because she doesn't understand why Stacy can't be as happy for her as she is happy for Stacy and her man from Hungary. I don't know where the man is from. Okay. I just made that up. So Darcy is getting angry, and Darcy is like, well, I'm about to call Tom. So she calls Tom. Tom said he just got back from a 6 hour flight. His cousin got a 60-foot yacht, obviously. They was all like, and he's like, once you get out here, maybe I can take you out there. Girl, it ain't no 60-foot yacht. It's a 6-foot yacht. So her friend apparently is drunk as hell. As her friend is like, oh yeah, Tom, you're hot. You're much hotter than Jesse. I do you, Tom. And he's like, oh, you do me? You do me? And she was like, yeah. And so Darcy says that she's not gonna show any type of anything because she doesn't want to look desperate. So then Tom is like, well, show me some cleavage. Her friend then pulls down her top and shows her cleavage. And Darcy is like, oh, okay. She hangs up from Tom, and then she's talking to her friend like, girl, you need to slow your fucking roll. Why would you do that? And her friend's like, calm down, Darcy. It's not that serious. And I'm just really confused. I'm really honestly, truly confused because I don't understand what's going on. Is this the dynamic that they have, or is your friend just a piece of shit? Or Darcy, do you not stand up for yourself so people feel like they can treat you like pieces of shit? Next we see Darcy, she's getting ready to leave. She does look a little bit cat like to me. Maybe it was the winged eye that she had, but she still looked a little cat like. She talks about to Stacy how the flirting threw her off, and she wonders what he does when she is not around. Um, she says that he called her the next day. She mentioned how it made her feel. He then says, I can do whatever I want. I can talk to whoever I want. I can text whoever I want. And he got angry. She then apologized to him, and he accepted the apology, and now she's gone. Then she says that Jesse called her at 3 o'clock in the morning. She didn't answer the phone, but and she doesn't even care why he called because she's trying to move on with her life. And I'm so fucking annoyed. I'm so fucking annoyed. I am really annoyed. She putting on her eyelash, talking about this one's for you, Tom, and it makes no sense to me. Um, her she's leaving. Her daughters tell her that they want her to take it slow. She says that of course she's nervous to put herself out there like this again, but she's a different person. She does feel like she has a soulmate, and she feels like through all of the worst things that she's been through in her life, it's brought her to Tom. And she feels like that he's in the same mindset, even though they've never met. Y'all, okay, I'm done with this. I know that this is not enthusiastic. I know it's not. I'm not in a good fucking mood. Okay, like so. I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry because I have feelings and emotions and they are valid. So if y'all like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Or if you want to know things about me, you can click down below. My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along.